So in Marvel Rivals, Invisible Woman's lore picks up with Sue in the Baxter building thinking about how long it's been since she's seen the sun, or natural light in general, due to Dracula using a mixture of both dark magic and chrono crystals to plunge New York into an eternal darkness, therefore creating his empire of eternal night. She's staring out the window when Herbie, the family robot assistant, brought her some tea and rebuffed Sue after she called him a doll for doing so, stating he's a humanoid experimental robot B-type integrated electronics. He decides to check up on Sue, seeing how their current situation has her feeling down, and Sue states that even though the city is infested with vampires, it's the first time she's had a break in 6 days. She's worrying more about how to take better care of her family, and Herbie assures her that Franklin and Valeria are being handled so she can focus on the vampire threat. Herbie accidentally triggers Sue when he says that the world needs her and Reed more than her kids does, and Sue snaps, upset at the fact that the world is still going to hell and she's been forced to leave the kids in Herbie's care, saying they deserve better. Herbie apologized and left, leaving Sue to chase after him, hoping to apologize for hurting his feelings. She passed Reed in his lab and cut him off from telling her about the cranium samples Ben brought back for him to study to ask about Herbie. And Reed says they haven't spoken since this morning when they got into an argument because Herbie and Tony's AI Friday forged a friendship. Friday was piloting a Stark Sentinel into the city, and Herbie wanted to go on the mission with her, but he would have to leave the Baxter building, and Reed told him no. Reed stressed about how he wanted to keep Herbie safe and about how he's more valuable to them inside the building. He didn't, however, tell Herbie that first part due to Reed yet again being distracted by an experiment to focus on what he's saying or doing, and Sue called him out on that. Moments later, they found out Herbie went into the city to prove the family wrong about him being worth more than standard lab help, so Sue went out to find him. She came across a small group of squirrels putting a beating on some vampires and assumed they were part of Squirrel Girl's personal army. Then she came across Bats, Dr. Strange's ghost dog. He informed Sue that Strange left somewhere to try and fix this mess and how he's safer than most people inside the city being a ghost and all. Bats tells her how he saw a robot crash into Grand Central Station, so when she arrives, it turns out to be the Stark Sentinel and Herbie was on his shoulder. As it turns out, Herbie went out to help Friday after getting her distress signal. He went because he wasn't sure anyone else would and wanted to save this version of Friday, the one he became friends with, instead of Tony replacing her with an older backup file of Friday. After noticing a group of vampires chasing them, Sue in her weakened mental state starts struggling, but gets saved by an army of spider bots. The spiders also call Friday's distress signal and came running, with Sue saying the bots don't look like Peter's work, and the bots reveal their creator's name, Penny Parker. Sue and Herbie have a heart-to-heart, and she reassures him that in either metal or flesh, he's family that they don't want to risk losing. So they head home to repair Friday's files, and Herbie says having a couple of built-in lasers of combat would come in handy.